Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The act of hitting vigorously. A gentle blow. The sound made by a gentle blow. A reproach for some lapse or misdeed. It was a bum rap. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. Genre of African American music of the 1980s and 1990s in which rhyming lyrics are chanted to a musical accompaniment. Several forms of rap have emerged. Strike sharply. Rap him on the knuckles. Perform rap music. Talk volubly. Voluble conversation. A vigorous blow. The act of hitting vigorously. Sing loudly and forcefully. A path or strip, as cut by one course of mowing. Ammunition, usually of small caliber, loaded in flexible linked strips for use in a machine gun. A band to tie or buckle around the body, usually at the waist. An elongated region where a specific condition or characteristic is found. A belt of high pressure. Deliver a blow to. He belted his opponent. Endless loop of flexible material between two rotating shafts or pulleys. Fasten with a belt. Belt your trousers. A vigorous blow. The sudden knock floored him. The act of hitting vigorously. Find fault with. Express criticism of. Point out real or perceived flaws. Don't knock the food, it's free. Deliver a sharp blow or push. He knocked the glass clear across the room. Knock against with force or violence. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. The sound of knocking, as on a door or in an engine or bearing. The knocking grew louder. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. Negative criticism. A bad experience. The school of hard knocks. Rap with the knuckles. Knock on the door. Hit hard. The teacher whacked the boy. The act of hitting vigorously. He gave the table a whack. The sound made by a sharp, swift blow. The act of hitting vigorously. Attack forcefully. Wang away at the school reform plan. Beat with force. Propel or hit with force. Wang the ball. Drive something violently into a location. A conspicuous success. A gentle blow. A score in 10 pins, knocking down all 10 with the first ball. He finished with 3 strikes in the 10th frame. Make a strategic, offensive, assault against an enemy, opponent, or a target. We must strike the enemy's oil fields. Affect or afflict suddenly, usually adversely. Touch or seem as if touching visually or audibly. Find unexpectedly. Remove by erasing or crossing out or as if by drawing a line. Please strike this remark from the record. Cause to experience suddenly. Have an emotional or cognitive impact upon. Form by stamping, punching, or printing. Strike coins. Smooth with a strickle. A group's refusal to work in protest against low pay or bad work conditions. The strike lasted more than a month before it was settled. Stop work in order to press demands. Produce by manipulating keys or strings of musical instruments. The pianist strikes a middle C. Occupy or take on. Strike a pose. Hit against. Come into sudden contact with. Attain. An attack that is intended to seize or inflict damage on or destroy an objective. The strike was scheduled to begin at dawn. Arrive at after reckoning, deliberating, and weighing. Strike a balance. Baseball. A pitch that the batter swings it and misses, or that the batter hits into foul territory, or that the batter does not swing it but the umpire judges to be in the area over home plate and between the batter's knees and shoulders. This pitcher throws more strikes than balls. Cause to form, an electric arc, between electrodes of an arc lamp. Strike an arc. Deliver a sharp blow, as with the hand, fist, or weapon. The opponent refused to strike. Disassemble a temporary structure, such as a tent or a theatrical set. After the show, we'll have to strike the set and pack up. Indicate a certain time by striking. Pierce with force. Produce by ignition or a blow. Strike fire from the flintstone. Draw from. Make good use of. Tap a telephone or telegraph wire to get information. The FBI was tapping the phone line of the suspected spy. Dance and make rhythmic clicking sounds by means of metal plates nailed to the sole of the dance shoes. Glover tap dances better than anybody. Make a solicitation or entreaty for something. Request urgently or persistently. A gentle blow. The sound made by a gentle blow. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. He was tapping his fingers on the table impatiently. A plug for a bunghole in a cask. A faucet for drawing water from a pipe or cask. The act of tapping a telephone or telegraph line to get information. A light touch or stroke. Strike lightly. He tapped me on the shoulder. A small metal plate that attaches to the toe or heel of a shoe, as in tap dancing. A tool for cutting female, internal, screw threads. Cut a female screw thread with a tap. Draw from or dip into to get something. Tap one's memory. Draw, liquor, from a tap. Tap beer in a bar. Furnish with a tap or spout, so as to be able to draw liquid from it. Tap a cask of wine. Pierce in order to draw a liquid from. Tap a maple tree for its syrup. Walk with a tapping sound. Having only superficial plausibility. The sound made by a gentle blow. Hit lightly. Pat him on the shoulder. A light touch or stroke. Pat or squeeze fondly or playfully, especially under the chin. Exactly suited to the occasion. A pat reply. An accusation that you are responsible for some lapse or misdeed. The police laid the blame on the driver. Harass with constant criticism. A reproach for some lapse or misdeed. He took the blame for it. Put or pin the blame on. Attribute responsibility to. We blamed the accident on her. Expletives used informally as intensifiers. It's a blamed shame. Of a light shade of red. A person with mildly leftist political views. Any of various flowers of plants of the genus Dianthus cultivated for their fragrant flowers. Make light, repeated taps on a surface. Sound like a car engine that is firing too early. The car pinked when the ignition was too far retarded. A light shade of red. Cut in a zigzag pattern with pinking shears, in sewing. Genre of African American music of the 1980s and 1990s in which rhyming lyrics are chanted to a musical accompaniment. Several forms of rap have emerged. An urban youth culture associated with rap music and the fashions of African American residents of the inner city. Genre of African American music of the 1980s and 1990s in which rhyming lyrics are chanted to a musical accompaniment. Several forms of rap have emerged. Strike sharply. Break a small piece off from. Make a mess of, destroy or ruin. Be in motion due to some air or water current. The leaves were blowing in the wind. An impact, as from a collision. A strong current of air. Spend thoughtlessly. Throw away. Provide sexual gratification through oral stimulation. An unfortunate happening that hinders or impedes, something that is thwarting or frustrating. Melt, break, or become otherwise unusable. An unpleasant or disappointing surprise. Show off. Leave. Informal or rude. Let's blow this place. Street names for cocaine. Be inadequate or objectionable. This blows. Forceful exhalation through the nose or mouth. He gave his nose a loud blow. Allow to regain its breath. Blow a horse. A powerful stroke with the fist or a weapon. A blow on the head. Be blowing or storming. Burst suddenly. Cause air to go in, on, or through. Cause to be revealed and jeopardized. The double agent was blown by the other side. Cause to move by means of an air current. Exhale hard. Blow on the soup to cool it down. Free of obstruction by blowing air through. Blow one's nose. Lay eggs. Certain insects are said to blow. Make a sound as if blown. Play or sound a wind instrument. Shape by blowing. Sound by having air expelled through a tube. Spend lavishly or wastefully on. Spout moist air from the blowhole. Come upon, as if by accident, meet with. An impact, as from a collision. The bump threw him off the bicycle. Knock against with force or violence. My car bumped into the tree. Assign to a lower position. Reduce in rank. Remove or force from a position of dwelling previously occupied. Something that bulges out or is protuberant or projects from its surroundings. A lump on the body caused by a blow. Dance erotically or dance with the pelvis thrust forward. Bump and grind. Phonetics. An individual sound unit of speech without concern as to whether or not it is a phoneme of some language. Logically valid. A sound argument. Measure the depth of a body of water with a sounding line. The subjective sensation of hearing something. He strained to hear the faint sounds. Make a certain noise or sound. Having legal efficacy or force. A sound title to the property. In excellent physical condition. A sound mind in a sound body. The audible part of a transmitted signal. Of sleep, deep and complete. A sound sleeper. A narrow channel of the sea joining two larger bodies of water. Exercising or showing good judgment. A sound approach to the problem. Utter with vibrating vocal cords. A large ocean inlet or deep bay. The main body of the sound ran parallel to the coast. Announce by means of a sound. Sound the alarm. Appear in a certain way. This sounds interesting. Cuz to sound. Sound the bell. Complete. Thorough. Politicians have no sound grasp of technology issues. Financially secure and safe. Sound investments. Free from moral defect. A man of sound character. Give off a certain sound or sounds. This record sounds scratchy. In good condition, free from defect or damage or decay. A sound timbre. Mechanical vibrations transmitted by an elastic medium. Falling trees make a sound in the forest even when no one is there to hear them. The particular auditory effect produced by a given cause. The sound of rain on the roof. The sudden occurrence of an audible event. The sound awakened them. Vigorous or severe. A sound thrashing. Express criticism towards. The president reproached the general for his irresponsible behavior. A mild rebuke or criticism. Words of reproach. Disgrace or shame. He brought reproach upon his family. Follow a certain course. How did your interview go? Have a particular form. As the saying goes. Move away from a place into another direction. Perform as expected when applied. The washing machine won't go unless it's plugged in. Change location. Move, travel, or proceed, also metaphorically. How fast does your new car go? Be in the right place or situation. Let's put healthcare where it belongs, under the control of the government. A usually brief attempt. A board game for two players who place counters on a grid. The object is to surround and so capture the opponent's counters. Pass from physical life and lose all bodily attributes and functions necessary to sustain life. Make a certain noise or sound. Lead, extend, or afford access. This door goes to the basement. Street names for methylenedioxymethamphetamine. Continue to live and avoid dying. Begin or set in motion. Ready, set, go. Stop operating or functioning. To be spent or finished. The money had gone after a few days. A time period for working, after which you will be relieved by someone else. It's my go. Blend or harmonize. This sofa won't go with the chairs. Go through in search of something. Search through someone's belongings in an unauthorized way. Enter or assume a certain state or condition. Get going. Have a turn. Make one's move in a game. Can I go now? Give support to, or make a choice of, one out of a group or number. Stretch out over a distance, space, time, or scope. Run or extend between 2 points or beyond a certain point. His knowledge doesn't go very far. Follow a procedure or take a course. We should go farther in this matter. Be the right size or shape. Fit correctly or as desired. Progress by being changed. The speech has to go through several more drafts. Be abolished or discarded. These ugly billboards have to go. Be or continue to be in a certain condition. Be ranked or compare. This violinist is as good as Juilliard-trained violinists go. Be spent. Functioning correctly and ready for action. All systems are go. Pass, fair, or elapse, of a certain state of affairs or action. How is it going? Music created by African American musicians. Early forms were songs that had a melodic line and a strong rhythmic beat with repeated choruses. Music created by African American musicians. Early forms were songs that had a melodic line and a strong rhythmic beat with repeated choruses. Any genre of music having wide appeal, but usually only for a short time. Any genre of music having wide appeal, but usually only for a short time. Carry out or perform an action. Get something done. Give a performance of something. Horowitz is performing at Carnegie Hall tonight. Perform a function. Who will perform the wedding? Exchange thoughts. Talk with. We often talk business. Use language. The baby talks already. An exchange of ideas via conversation. Let's have more work and less talk around here. Express in speech. She talks a lot of nonsense. Deliver a lecture or talk. She will talk at Rutgers next week. Reveal information. If you don't oblige me, I'll talk. A speech that is open to the public. Idle gossip or rumor. There has been talk about you lately. Divulge confidential information or secrets. Be careful, his secretary talks. Discussion. Talk about as a less formal alternative for discussion of. His poetry contains much talk about love and anger. The act of giving a talk to an audience. I attended an interesting talk on local history. Exchange thoughts. Talk with. Use language. The prisoner won't speak. Give a speech to. Express in speech. Make a characteristic or natural sound. The use of speech for informal exchange of views or ideas or information, etc. Make light, rapid and repeated sounds. As of footsteps. Rain gently. Describing a rhythmic beating. A series of rapid tapping sounds. She missed the pitter-patter of little feet around the house. Punishment for one's actions. You have to face the music. Any agreeable, pleasing and harmonious sounds. He fell asleep to the music of the wind chimes. An artistic form of auditory communication incorporating instrumental or vocal tones in a structured and continuous manner. Musical activity, singing or whistling, etc. His music was his central interest. Music, the sounds produced by singers or musical instruments, or reproductions of such sounds.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.